You already know what it is. It is time, my friends, for us to finally start some horror animations. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause for that one. Alright, so we're gonna be watching Horror Search Party 3 True Walmart Horror Stories. This was uploaded 5 months ago. Alright. Just keep that in your, just put your thinking caps on. Anyways, just wanted to say that I'm going to be trying my best to do better thumbnails. I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, I can only do but so much on CapCut, okay? But yeah, let's go ahead and get to, oh, one more thing. If you want to join my Discord server, I will put it in the description. I'll put it in the description of this video. Alright, now let's get into it. Turn my lights on red for this one.
I used to work at Walmart a few years ago, taking the night shift
This
after
voice
closing
actor.
the store. As a merchandise store associate, I worked overnight to unload shipping items from the truck trailer. And since it was more physical than cognitive, it wasn't as demanding as working at the cash register. All I had to do was get used to it, and once it became a routine, I could subconsciously complete my tasks. The pay was much more, of course, since I had to work during the graveyard hours, but this job came at a price. No, I didn't get into an accident, or robbed, or anything of that nature. It's just that I often heard weird noises across the establishment.
Let me turn these back. Okay, look. I'm not doing that. See, I'm not working in no graveyard hours. No. No, sir. No, siree. I'm not stupid. Anyway, back.
Especially in the attic. I'd always come across stories about paranormal activities occurring in the attic. For reasons I couldn't understand, it seemed to be a popular dwelling place for ominous entities. I had never been assigned the attic. In fact, no one really goes there anyway. So, I imagined it was simply a storage.
Storage. Let me tell you something. That ain't no storage. That's where the ghosts have to go to have fun. They be living it up in there. They be like, hey. Nah, they hit it with this right here. That's no, don't use the Quizlet. This is what the Quizlet gets you, bro. I'm telling you. Let's go back.
Room for a lot of stuff we no longer use, but occasionally I was caught off guard by creaks, scratching noises, and sounds that gave me the impression that something was being dragged across the floor. However, before getting any crazy ideas, I repeatedly told myself that the building was either old or that raccoons were getting in somehow. The bad news is that since I started working here, my boss constantly ranted about losing inventory in the food section, including clothes and appliances, which I had checked multiple times during my shift, only to find out later that some of them had gone missing. A series of similar events had been occurring quite frequently at the store, and without a logical explanation, it eventually became a mystery to me.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down the pausing because I know you're probably on ease, but I don't know, but I think it's the ghost in the attic or a figure or a silhouette, but I can't really tell. Could just be my imagination. I don't know.
Since I didn't steal anything and was sure I punched the numbers in correctly, I almost lost my job because of what was happening. But every time I was accused at work, I told my boss that I was only doing my job with no idea what the hell was going on. Then, one night, I heard the same weird noises again around the store while doing the usual routine. But instead of ignoring them this time, I decided to investigate.
Somebody! Oh!
He needs some milk!
As I roamed around the store, I looked up and down each aisle, at the electronics section, the toy section, and finally around the food aisles. But I couldn't find anything. That is until I reached the frozen food aisles and saw one of the most disturbing things that made my heart stop. It was two individuals crouching next to the freezer stuffing their faces. One of them appeared to be an old lady, and her companion appeared to be an
That's a
old
woman?
man. They didn't care to stop eating, despite being caught red-handed. I was in utter shock, coming to the realization that I wasn't alone, and potentially in danger.
Do you guys need any help?
I asked them.
No, can you just show us where the chips are?
The man said. I then pointed towards the chips aisle and nervously said,
It should be over there.
I cautiously stepped backward as the couple proceeded to continue eating while looking at me with the most crazed stare. When I finally backed up enough to the point that I was out of view, I made a run for it, dashing across the store until I locked myself inside one of the office rooms. Hidden underneath the table, I took out my phone and immediately called the cops. I stuttered as my mind went blank. It didn't seem like the pair had followed me. The operator remained on the other end of the line as she dispatched a few units to the Walmart I was in. As I sat there, desperately waiting for the cops to arrive, I could feel my heart pumping out of my chest. Every minute of just sitting and waiting felt like an eternity as sweat began trickling from my forehead. I could hear noises from outside.
Oh!
I could not identify what they were. Despite my fears, I remained still, preventing myself from panicking. And moments later, I could hear someone turning the knob violently, like whoever was on the other side wanted to come in.
It's the door P&G for me.
What?
Hey. You do you. I'm not. Look, personally, if I witnessed that, I would be like, why am I even here? Why am I even here at this late?
I thought of calling out to the person to ask who they were, but hesitated since it could only get me in more trouble. Convinced I was going to have to fight for my life, I grabbed a pair of scissors holding it up like a knife.
It's gonna be his boss.
It was
He gonna
evident
stab
that
his boss.
The person behind the door was getting more desperate. They started banging on the doors as
It's
if
his
they
boss
were
trying to get
break
in.
it down. Just then, the door busted open. I then screamed hysterically, but then I realized that it was just law enforcement. I quickly
that was gonna be my
disclosed what
second
happened
guess.
and told them where I last saw the suspects. The police didn't allow me to leave the room for standard safety protocol measures, since the suspects were still at large. A few minutes later, I was informed that the pair were immediately apprehended. After further investigation, it was discovered that the pair were a homeless couple living in the Walmart attic the entire time. When the authorities investigated the attic, they found expired food items and missing inventory scattered throughout the floor. But what baffled me the most was how it was alleged the couple had been living there for over 2 years. All this time, knowing that I wasn't alone while working the night shift just creeps me the hell out. All I know is that the man or woman were highly capable of strangling me and could have easily done so. And because of that, I never felt safe working at Walmart ever again. On December the 1st of 2004.
Okay, so this is just the part where they address everything in its entirety and how this was inspired and whatnot. All I gotta say about this one, don't be stupid. Alright, well, we're gonna move on to the next film. Okay, the next one on this list is called 3 True Burger King Night Shift Horror Stories. Apparently not too long ago, it was National Burger Day. Shoot, I missed out. By Horror Shorts Party, by the way. I hate that sound. Oh, that's so annoying. Burger King?
Whopper, 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 Whopper.
I used to go to Burger King all the time. I'm a big guy and I like to eat.
but I never learned to cook for myself. So I go through a lot of fast
I can
food
personally cook.
drive-thrus, especially Burger King, since it used to be the only place on my way home from work that was open 24/7. But the last time I went to Burger King, I had a very disturbing experience. I pulled my truck up to the intercom at a little past 2 in the morning as per usual. But strangely, even after a few minutes, nobody had asked me for my order. Hello, anybody there? Sometimes they don't realize somebody's waiting in line until I say something. But even after I hollered at them, they still weren't saying anything. Hey, you in there? I'm trying to place an order. I usually wouldn't use that type of tone with employees, but I was very hungry.
I
and
would
cranky,
lose my patience
and I
as
didn't
well.
want to have to go across town to McDonald's just to get something to eat. Come on, guys. Your lights are still on. The sign says 24/7. I know you're in there. Don't make me pull up around the corner. And there I was. Still left hanging
Ooh,
with
he's
no response.
feisty. Let me
Alright,
shut up.
fine. I'm coming up to the window. After I couldn't reach through the intercom, I pulled up to the window, hoping to give them a piece of my mind. I was thinking they were either sleeping on the job or ignoring me, and I took offense to either one. But when I pulled up to the window, I didn't see anybody inside. All the lights were still on though, so I knew they were open. I sat there and stared through the window for several minutes, trying to catch a glimpse of someone. However, as it started to get closer to 2:30 in the morning, I realized I could have gone to McDonald's and eaten already, and I was just about to give up. But at the last second, I heard people talking from inside. Suddenly, I was pissed off all over again. Hey, Bozo! Get off your lazy butts and take my order! And clean the wax out of your ears while you're at it! I even knocked on the window, too. But it looked like the only thing that I'd accomplished was making the people inside go quiet. It was starting to look like a lost cause I should just drive away from. Then, out of nowhere...
That's not funny. That's not funny. Stop laughing. That's not funny.
The cashier's face slams into the window. He was drenched in sweat with bloodshot eyes and his hands pressed against the glass.
That scared me.
It startled me so bad that I was at a loss for words. The poor guy slowly opened the window, and I could see how much his hands were shaking. Good evening, sir. How may I take your order? I'll just have a Whopper. Thank you. Will that be all today, sir? Yes, please.
How's
Just
bro
the Whopper
sweating
and I'll
so
be on
much?
my way. The cashier paused for a moment. And I saw him clench his jaw like he was holding back something he wanted to say. I stared him down and waited for him to spit it out. Are you sure you wouldn't like anything else? We have lots of other food items on the menu. Sides, sauces, desserts, breakfast biscuits, and... Thank you, man. I said I just wanted a Whopper and that's it. But sir, I insist. And I insist that you shut up and listen to me.
Oh, someone getting fired. Hey, 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 yeah. Let me shut up. This is not appropriate. Not appropriate, I say.
Just place my order, take my money, and give me my food. I felt
Dang.
bad for yelling.
Personally.
But I was done with playing whatever his game was. His whole body was trembling by then. He was sweating like a pig. But finally, he nodded and punched it in. No problem, sir. Just the Whopper sandwich, and that'll be $1,000. What? Do you think I'm an idiot? I know how much a Whopper costs, and it ain't $1,000. Matter of fact, you ought to be paying me for wasting my time. Do you even know how long I've been out here waiting for you? 30 minutes, and all I want is one Whopper. So stop playing games and do your job.
Dang.
My apologies, sir. It must be the machine. It's very old. It must be broken. I'm working the whole restaurant by myself tonight, so I haven't had time to fix it. Blah, blah, blah. Quit whining. Your job isn't that hard. Oh, but it is. You see, I was thinking, if you could just give me a tip in cash. What? A tip? You know, just $1,000 cash for holding down the business. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was so pissed off again.
Why
I
get
got
mad?
far past the point of yelling and screaming and reached a boiling point where I was tempted to just punch the scheming dirtbag's lights out. Listen here, buddy. I'm this close to just leaving. But honestly, I'm closer to giving you a knuckle sandwich. Ever heard of a sandwich before? It's what I've been trying to get from you this whole time. I know your machine is working just fine. You're the problem. You lazy, entitled, slimy little snot-nosed brat! Suddenly, the cashier did something bizarre. He now had his hands clasped together and was hanging out the window and pleading with me. Please, sir, just give me the money. I need it. You don't understand. Please, you have to give it to me. You have to. Screw off. I pushed him back and started to drive off. But then, to my surprise, the scrawny little twerp lunged forward and grabbed me by the collar. I stopped so I wouldn't accidentally kill him with my truck, and that's when he got even more desperate. Please, you don't understand. Just give me the money, please. There was sadness and fear in his eyes, which made me hold back from hitting him. He was crying as he screamed at me. He froze after a few seconds, so I grabbed him by the collar and set him back a few inches. Get off of me! You're barking up the wrong tree!
Barking up the wrong tree is
I was completely taken aback when he whispered, "Please call the cops." What? Unfortunately, he didn't have time to explain. Somebody appeared behind him and yanked him back through the window.
the freak.
Then, some deranged creep was staring me down, and it was obvious they were not an employee of Burger King. In a second, he charged forward and tried to grab me, but I sped off just in time and raced home. I was so confused and disturbed that I had lost all my appetite.
Better drive off.
I went straight to bed. The next morning, I flipped the TV onto the local news.
The music.
What I saw made my heart sink. The same Burger King I was at was reportedly robbed, and that poor worker's face was plastered on the broadcast as the face of the victim. He was allegedly held at gunpoint and didn't end up surviving the ordeal. To this day, I still beat myself up about it. Maybe I could have saved him. If I had known there was a human life on the line, things would have been different. I can't even think about eating at Burger King ever again. On November 18th, a man entered a Burger
Well, that was really nice for these horror shorts film video. 12 something minutes, maybe 13. I'm gonna go watch a bunch of cute or like funny videos to help me stop thinking about this. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Jay Shino out.